I want to say it was 4th gen. That's what I want to say. I could be completely wrong, but I think those were the games they were on. And I forget now because I only watched it like for a second. The last one I fully remember was like when they were playing Crystal. But yeah, so there is that. And you can affect what goes on in the game with the chat, but when you have 3,000 people putting in a command at any one given time, it is a wonder they get anywhere, especially in areas like this, where you have to specifically rely on your controls for getting to one location to the next. And I'm actually amazed at the fact that they were even able to complete a game, let alone how many that they have done. So even for a social experiment, I mean, bravo. Just bravo. Well done. Because when I even heard that they even got out of the rocket hideout, I was like, oh man, they're going to be stuck in here forever. And when they added the Anarchy Democracy mode, which if you don't know, is like if you voted, you could say, hey, in such and such a time, what mode do you want it to be in? And you just type in democracy or anarchy. Anarchy being accept every command, and democracy being a vote command system, which is nice, because with a vote command system, you have a lot of intelligent, or more intelligent people, I don't want to say intelligent, a lot of smarter gamers of that game putting in the correct command than the trolley people who are trying to put in the incorrect command, or, you know, press start or something like that to halt the gameplay for everybody around them and then messing up the controls. And you saw that a lot. You still see that now, but, you know, just a whole bunch of fun stuff that they did. And again, it's amazing that they actually beat not one game, not just red and blue or yellow, I forget. I think it was yellow. Was it yellow? I don't know, I'm gonna have to remind myself. I got the black glasses though. We're actually going to give that to my Gyarados. Because I do use it for its dark type move, which is Bite. I don't recall if it learns Crunch later, but that is a possibility. So we're just going to hope that maybe it does, because I do not remember. And the one rocket member we actually need is that one in the back there. And he's the only one that has a specific sort of AI speech feature. Like, he doesn't actually talk, but his dialogue, that's what I was looking for. That's the key word I was looking for before. His dialogue is specific about, okay, who has the lift key? And, you know, you saw it in big capitalized letter. And what you would have to do in the original, which I think is different from this one, and I'll show you after this is done, because I think all he does is drop the key. And I seem to recall, like, in the original, you had to talk to him again in order for him to even drop the key. But we'll see. I'll double check that here in a minute, because I do not remember myself. Going back to Shenron. I believe he said Zubat, so we may be able to fight this one. Yep. Okay, Zubat, Shockwave. And Shockwave is one of those... Oh man, I want to say it's 2nd gen, but I don't think it came out until the 3rd gen, honestly. Because I seem to recall it was a specific... Yeah, so that dialogue would not have shown up. Because you had to talk to him again, and then he would actually drop the lift key. And so people who played this game originally would be like, oh man, well where's this friggin' lift key supposed to be? And they'd have to like look it up. But yeah, all you had to do was talk to him again and you pretty much figure it out. So, and that's for original gamers. The OGs of Pokemon from Red, Blue, and Yellow. Because I don't know if they patched it in Yellow or not. I have to double check that because it's been a long time since I've played the originals on my Game Boy or Game Boy Color. And yes, I have, or I've had both. Because that was something I wanted as a young lad. And I know some of you have been like, oh man, young lad, blah, 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 blah. What does that mean? Or, you know, you sound like way old or something, but, you know, I don't feel old. I probably should, but I don't feel it. I don't know. It's weird. I was a younger person. Totoro, level 29. Getting back into Shenron again. And the sad thing about the Dratini and Dragonair evolutions is that they don't learn any flying type moves to help them against like fighting types or grass types or anything like that, which is really sad because I really wanted them to learn like flying type moves, but you only get wing attack even after they evolve, and I'm just like, man, that sucks. So hopefully, when we get there, and we will get there, it's just going to take a lot of training, because right now we are 34 levels below where we need to be to get it to that level. But yeah, we're going to train it up, and then we'll have an awesome new dragon. And then hopefully by that time I'll have either gotten enough money for the equipment I need for my Eevee, because I do not like leveling it up and going into battles with it just to raise its happiness. I like being able to do it with the items, which I can do with like proteins and carbos and all that sort of stuff. And actually what we're going to do first, since I have way too many escape ropes anyway, we're just going to use one real quick. And I'll be back in here. I'm just going to heal up. And I don't recall, but I'm really going to have to go back and play like the original Red, Blue, and Yellow, and I could do that like on this version actually, like if I wanted to. I could load up a ROM and then just play through that, but I think if you used an escape rope or dig or something like that, or teleport, that I would actually just come to the base of these stairs in the originals, but now it actually takes me outside the door. So that was cool. But yeah, I think we got everything in here. Going down another floor. So now we're in below second floor, and I have to wonder why they say B to F, because they could just say like, you know, this is basement level or something like that, or you know, something else, but they do it weird for whatever reason. I'm not really sure. Maybe that translated well for other players, but it was hard for me to understand like B2, B1, B3, because I was like, okay, well which one's up and which one's down? Is below 4th floor higher, below 5th floor? But actually, it goes by, this is the highest, lowest is down here, and then, you know, mid-ranges. And we can actually go to floor 1. Not that there's anything really here, but we're going to go there just to check it out. I think there's the one trainer. Let's do that. He actually turned on me. And I'm surprised. I thought he just stayed in that hallway like that, but I guess I'm mistaken. We're gonna go to Jossum. Again, I like to keep them all even, so there's a reason I'm using these guys versus my Butterfree, which is a level 30 right now, because I'm trying to keep their levels about the same. And Dragon Rage is going to be like the reason that I got a Gyarados so early on, and if anybody's seen that footage, I got Gyarados way early on, and I'm talking like Vermilion City. Like, that's the zone that I got him, and he learns Dragon Rage immediately, almost immediately after evolving, or I think it's like 25 or something, level 25. And for the early game, that is like an uber overkill move for any Pokemon at that level, because Dragon Rage does 40 HP damage, and if you look, even my Dratini right now has 48 HP. So it's doing huge damage, even though it's not really an effective move. But it'll always do that amount of damage. It doesn't matter if it's effective, ineffective, or not. Like, if I used that move on a Steel type, it would still do 40 HP damage, which is nice. And Jossum is level 29. But the thing is, I do not want to put my Butterfree out there to get poisoned, but I think I might have to anyway. So we're just going to use Butterfree real quick. And you'll understand why I did my team the way I do it, but you'll see that it has a guaranteed hit move. So even if for some reason Butterfree went blind, and there was a lot of your accuracy fell, or my Pokemon, or their Pokemon's evasiveness rises, Aerial Ace will always hit. The same way with Shockwave. No matter what they do, if they decrease my accuracy or they increase their evasiveness, it's always going to hit. So there's no loss in having those moves on the team. Another thing is I always keep... Uh-oh, the Ruckus somehow opened the door. Which brings us back to the first Rocket Grunt, which is up here. So we've already been up here. I've already shown you that, but, you know, it's just like a quick escape route from the elevator. Below floor 2, or floor 4, blah blah blah. And I think floor 3 was one of those floors that we were like climbing into that we didn't necessarily reach. We're going to hold on to that calcium for my Eevee. I know that some people may frown upon that, but I can always just buy calciums later if I need them at the Pokemon Mart in Celadon, because it specifically sells those items. And we have 2 trainers here, so we're going to start with Lefty here. So Lefty is starting off with the Shrew, the Sand Shrew that is. I think Dragonair will learn Water-type moves, or my Dratini will learn Water-type moves at some point. Right now it doesn't have any, which would be super helpful, but we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to go to Naraku, because Naraku has an effectiveness specific to ground types, and I didn't even think about that, but ground types really cannot do a lot of damage, because I think it'll only do like 1/4 of the damage because of the double typing, the bug and the grass type. I think ground type moves are not effective. So that was a good decision on my part, because as we all know, my friend in the last gym is a ground type user, but who is he? For those who don't already know, Shenron is also learning Dragon Rage, which is excellent. That is, you know what, that's actually better than excellent. That is like a great news, because now my Shenron is actually 10 times more effective than it was before. Yeah, we're actually going to switch into Shenron. I think we can pull this off. I think Shenron can do this